What's going on, everybody? My name is Tech, and for 15 years I was the #1 seller of pre-owned men's clothing on eBay. But today we are about 4 hours away from my house. We got a hotel, and we are an hour away from the hotel. We woke up at 4:30 in the morning. We got here at 6. It's about 7:15 now. We are in a very rural community, if you could not tell. There are more turkeys and chickens and cows and horses and strawberries than there are people around here, but we are still making it happen. We still have a cart full of stuff, a lot of nice vintage, which I'll show you later or probably in another video. And you know, I get the question very often of, if you had to start over again, what would you do to get to $100,000? Because you talk to people, you ask people what their goal is when they become a reseller, whether full-time or part-time, and most people will tell you they want to make $100,000 profit. And the quickest, most efficient, best way to make $100,000 profit is by finding 14 items a day that will sell for a $20 profit. So what I would do is I would spend all day finding the absolute best 14 items that I can find. I would not go home, I would not compromise, and I would find the best 14 items per day that are going to get me a $20 profit. So if you sell 14 items a day at a $20 profit, that is $280 a day profit, $102,200 profit per year. That is the easiest, least resistant way to make $100,000 a year reselling, and in my personal humble opinion, in general. Because you don't have to go to school, you don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be a lawyer, you don't have to be an engineer. You just have to wake up early, get here before everybody else, arm yourself with the most amount of information and knowledge, and then just give yourself the most amount of opportunity. So today, this morning, my cart is full. The car is filling up. I've already taken one trip to the car, and nobody even knows that these items were here. You can give yourself the most amount of opportunities, but if you have no knowledge, you get nothing. You can give yourself the most knowledge, but if you never get off the couch and come out here and try to do it, you still have nothing. So you need to give yourself the most amount of knowledge, the most amount of opportunities, and you need to spend all of your time. If your goal is to make $100,000 profit, I would spend all of my time, this probably sells pretty good, I would spend all of my time, there's a good bolo for a lion stuffed animal by Douglas, look that one up, it sells for like 500 bucks. And again, that's where the most amount of knowledge comes in. So you need to know enough about enough items to be dangerous, where you don't walk past profitable inventory that you are set up for and you are prepared to sell. So certainly there's a lot of stuff out here that has value. All of this stuff has value, but you need to bring home the best items for you and your business. And you can't let anybody sway you or influence you to pick up items that you are not set up for. If you are not set up for them, you leave them and you go on and you continue to pick and list another day. And set up for them means, can you accurately photograph and describe them? Can you store them successfully where you're not going to break, damage, or lose them? And can you get them to the customer in one piece to make sure that you are fulfilling your promise on eBay? That's being set up for it. Now, for me, my setup is for clothing and items of that size. If I bring home a bicycle, shame on me. I should leave the bicycle there. So the correct items to pick up are what matches your metrics. Now, what are the metrics? Metrics are defined by the profit of the item and how fast it sells. When those two lines intersect, that item is something that we should pick up. So maybe that pot right there, maybe it will give me $50 profit, which, let's say my profit goal is $20 in this example that we're using, but maybe it's going to take 3 years to sell. Those two lines do not intersect, therefore I left it. So we need to learn profitability meaning that we need to have a fundamental understanding of our numbers. And you can go to the eBay sales calculator. You can Google eBay sales calculator on Google, and the first one that comes up is my personal favorite, and it runs you through all the numbers. How much in fees? They charge fees on shipping. They have promoted listings fees. They charge sales tax, so on and so forth. And we need to have a fundamental understanding of the numbers. If you want to win this game, you have to know all the rules of the game. If you ever play Monopoly or like Connect 4, imagine you played Connect 4 and every single time you got 3, you thought you won the game. You're never going to win because you don't know the rules of the game. And if you do not know the rules of the game, you cannot win the game. eBay is a platform. They have rules, guidelines, and regulations. I have seen so many people sink their ship before they even really had a chance to start because they did not know the rules. They're canceling for being out of stock. Canceling for being out of stock is one of the most aggressive defects that eBay can levy on your account. And you have people canceling left, right, and center because they have no idea of the impact on their account. Oh, that dude just ran over all those things. He would not be happy if he saw that. And they have no idea the potential penalty on their account. And you see people fall below standard and absolutely struggle to maintain their seller level after that. So know the rules of the game. That is the moral of the story. eBay constantly changes the rules. So when they do change the rules, all of those are fake, by the way. When they do change the rules, you have to change with the times. We have to also understand that nothing lasts forever or works forever. So if something is working right now, you do everything inside of your power to absolutely exploit it to the best of your ability and what you're capable of doing. So in my opinion, the entire idea of being able to go out to the garage sale, thrift store, flea market, there will never be a better time to be able to do this. It's going to get more difficult. It's going to get harder as technology enters the space. And it's only downhill from here. So if this is the best time to do it, the best time to get started, the best time to take advantage of this, then why are we not maximizing this to the best of our ability? If eBay came on and said, hey, we're ending every single listing on December 31st, 2025, there would be such an urgency of everybody on the platform to list as many items as they could. But because we all think that eBay is going to last forever, we're taking our time. We still have another day. It's all good. We don't have to worry about it. But that is severely not the case. In my opinion, I talk about it all the time. The next 5 to 10 years, especially year 5 through 10, the way that we resell is going to change more and faster in years 5 to 10 than it has ever changed in the history of reselling. And reselling has been around before the Bible. Reselling was around when dinosaurs were here. In the next year 5 through year 10, there will be so much change that separates the haves from the have-nots, and it's going to severely impact a tremendous amount of business. So the next 3 years, starting today, 2025 through 2028, we need to position ourselves to make sure that the next 5 to 10 do not severely impact our business. And you can let it go in one ear and out the other, but I've done thousands of hours of podcasts. I already looked through all this. I've done thousands of hours of podcasts. If you go back 5 years ago from today, during the peak of COVID, I called and predicted everything that is happening now, all the hardships that people are going through, all the reasons that people are going out of business. And if those were ignored, those people are probably filling out applications or unemployed. It's just the nature of the beast. So nothing lasts forever. Gain knowledge, give yourself the most amount of opportunities, give yourself the most amount of execution, be here the earliest, be here the most often, be the most friendliest, make the most connections, be the most consistent, be the most disciplined, find best items that you can find today, and do not go home, do not stop until you find those items. And if you go home and stop, and if you give up, and if you're not relentless on finding those items, if you are not sticking to your metrics, if you are not following sell-through, if you are not following profitability, then shame on you. We are running a business. This is not a hobby. No one has forced you to pick up the items that you've picked up and introduced into your store. So if you have bad items in your store, that was because of you and you alone. And you spent a bunch of time revising, fixing, editing, promoting, delisting, relisting, playing games, doing jumping jacks, doing the hokey pokey, where you could have just continued to move in a straight line and not done all of that extra steps and extra work and extra time and extra effort by putting lipstick on a pig. Instead, we should just go out here and get the best items that we could get. And getting the best items that we can get in regards to profitability and sell-through solves a tremendous amount of problems for you and your business. So if I had to start all over, what I would do is doing what I'm doing right now. Just pick up the very best items that you could pick up and spend all day, every single day, 365 days, be relentless as possible. Make no concessions, because if you concede once, you will concede twice. And make it your absolute mission and goal to only pick up the good ones. That's it. Leave everything else for everyone else. We don't need everything. We just need the best items that we could get. $20 profit, $280 profit per day, $102,200 a year. And I have been to California, to Georgia, to Florida, to New York, to New Jersey. And I have not failed to find 14 items that will get a $20 profit. Is it convenient? Not always. Is it the most closest? Usually not. Is it the easiest? Generally not. But we could be digging ditches, we could be lawyers, we could be engineers, we could be doctors, but instead we get to go to the flea market and we get to go to the thrift store and we get to find 14 items a day that sell for a $20 profit. You don't need an education. You don't need any special certification. You don't need anything. All you need to do is be a self-starter, be disciplined, make and stick to a schedule, and go out, leave your house, and go to the place that has 14 items that are going to get you a $20 profit. I didn't say go to the place that's right around the corner from your house. I didn't say go at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you look at my cart and you look inside of my car right now, I've been here since 6. A lot of people that are just showing up are going to come here, they're going to find nothing. All the good ones have already been taken off the table. All the good ones are on the table for fractions of a minute, and then they get removed from the table. That's how it goes. It doesn't matter if you sell video games, clothes, tiddlywinks, it doesn't matter. The good ones do not last long, so you got to be out here early, and you have to be out here often. Reselling is the furthest away from get rich quick. It's the furthest away from overnight success. It is something that absolutely takes work, commitment, and discipline. And it is absolutely something that does compound the longer that you do it. So if I was starting all over again, I would be rock solid on my commitment to only pick up the good ones and to make sure that I am being relentless in that search, non-conceding, to only pick up items and introduce items into my store and into my life that are actually the ones that I want, that actually meet the metric for profitability, desirability, and sell-through. Anything that is not that absolutely sidelines you from your mission and sets you back. And at the end of the day, it is hard work. It is long hours. It is 7 days a week, 365, 24 hours a day. There is no breaks. There is no PTO. There is no 401k. There is no insurance. Easy money ain't good, and good money ain't easy. And people that take shortcuts get cut short. So unfortunately, there's not too many hacks, tips, or tricks that move the needle very much outside of waking up a little bit earlier and working an extra hour. And I'll pop up in 365 days and probably have something a little bit to be proud of. So I hope this video was helpful. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody. Be great. Thank you.